Hi, hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Cynthia, and on this channel I talk about metaphysics, psychology and everything in between. In this video today I'll be talking about cognitive thought biases that occur when we are struggling with anxiety. According to the World Health Organization, over 264 million people around the world struggle with anxiety. This is a huge number. Anxiety is basically your body's response to worry and fear, and people struggle with this to varying degrees. Dr. Julie Smith, in her book, Why Has Nobody Told Me This Before, I'm going to put it up here, says that there are a few thought biases that commonly occur when we are experiencing anxiety. Being cognizant of these thought biases will help you better scrutinize your thoughts. And if you are like me, some of us struggle with anxiety, and these thoughts that we have, these anxious thoughts that we have, immensely impact the quality of our lives. So coming to the knowledge of this information on thought biases that occur in anxiety will help us better, scrutinize our thoughts and help us navigate our life with more clarity. If that is something that you're interested in, please stay tuned and let's delve right in. Thought bias in anxiety number 1, that is catastrophizing. Catastrophizing is when our minds skip to the worst possible case scenarios when presented with threatening information. Catastrophizing is like a horror movie constantly playing in your mind, not to be dramatic. Say for example, you miss work for 2 days, right, because of ill health. And when you do return to work, you are, talking to your colleagues, getting the scoop on what's been happening in the office, and then your boss casually tells you in passing, hey, can I have a chat with you in 15 minutes? And even if you did inform your colleagues and your bosses that you would not be able to make it into office for those 2 days because you felt a bit indisposed, your catastrophizing thoughts will sound something like, oh my god, he's going to tell me that if I continue to miss work, I'm not going to hit my targets and I'll probably get fired. That sounds extreme, right? But that's how our minds usually operate. And it's not us, it's because our minds are wired to keep us safe. So they'll always jump to the worst possible case scenarios that we can be better prepared for when those scenarios happen. That is wild, right? Thought bias in anxiety number 2, that is mental filter. The mental filter is when our minds hold on to the negative information and ignore all other information that is available that will make us feel different. So for example, you post a YouTube video like this, right? And then in the comments you get about 50 comments in total, right? 47 of those comments are positive and 3 comments are negative. Your mental filter is going to only hold on to those negative thoughts because these are things that you're already insecure about, right? And you are ignoring all the 47 positive comments of people that took their time out to actually comment and appreciate your work. That is crazy, right? But usually that's how our minds operate. Thought bias in anxiety number 3 is personalizing. I mean, before I even jump into it, I have to be honest. This is the thought bias and anxiety that I struggled with the most. But we're all human and we all continue learning. Anyway, so personalizing is when you get limited or ambiguous information and in the world and make it about yourself. Say for example, you're in the house with your partner, right? You walk down the stairs and you see they're watching TV. So you say, hi, and then they reply with this very nonchalant hi. Suddenly, your personalizing thoughts are going to think, oh my god, she's falling out of love with me. She doesn't want to engage in any conversation with me. Is she cheating on me? Whoa, hold your horses there, cowboy. This personalizing thought bias is very demanding because it demands for your attention, right? Because it is threat focused. If my partner is falling out of love with me, I need to handle this right away before any consequences ensue. So this thought bias is crappy, but most of us fall victim to it. because we feel threatened, and our minds are quickly trying to always keep us safe and put 2 and 2 together so we can know how to, what to do next. We need to watch out for personalizing. So, thought bias and anxiety number 4, overgeneralizing. Overgeneralizing is when you get one experience or take one experience and apply it to all other experiences. For example, say you have a job interview, you have been practicing, you're ready for it, and you're going to nail it. Only later to receive an email that reads something like this. Unfortunately, we decided to go in a different direction, and we will not be able to take you on at this time. This is obviously a very disheartening situation, right? So your overgeneralizing thoughts are going to sound something like, I'm never getting a job. Why even bother applying anymore? We need to be very careful overgeneralizing because it creates a spike in your emotional state. And when you have, been ramped up emotionally, cooling yourself down and going back to a poised state can actually take some time. And we do not know what actions ensue from that, so we need to be very careful with overgeneralizing. But bias and anxiety number 5 is labeling. Labeling is kind of like overgeneralizing, just because in labeling you are taking one particular point in time or one period in time or an event that happened in time and making global judgments of who you are as a person. So for example, at a certain point in your life you dated someone who was very dismissive of your feelings or didn't have any regards for your feelings. Maybe they used to talk constantly with other people in inappropriate ways and they never gave you any attention. You fighting for their love and attention made you feel like you are clingy and maybe you are a jealous person. But honey, that isn't you. That is just who you are then in that point of time. And maybe you were in the wrong relationship, right? So you can't make global judgments of who you are as a person based on that point of time, because emotions, behaviors, whatever it is that happen to us through time are not permanent. They're all temporary. So you need to be very careful when you label yourself as this and this and that because of an event that happened at a particular point in your life. So, the good part, how do we handle these thought biases and anxiety? Before I continue, I want to mention that our thoughts are not factual. Thoughts are just suggestions, they are theories, they are guesses. So don't feel like whatever thought that you have in your mind is you. No, honey, it is not you. You are just the observer who is observing these thoughts, which is great because it makes you realize that you can pick and choose which thoughts to believe in, right? So let's jump right into how we can handle these thought biases and anxiety. The first way to handle these thought biases and anxiety is to create some distance between you and these thoughts. Say for example, you can use distant language like, I'm having thoughts of this and this. Say for example, you are worried that you are going to fail at your job interview. Instead of thinking, I'm going to fail at this job interview, rephrase that thought and create some distance by saying, I'm having thoughts that I'm going to fail in this job interview. This will help you realize that you are not your thought. You are the observer of that thought. So you can either accept it as truth or not, because remember, a thought's power lies in whether you accept it as the actual truth or a true reflection of your reality, right? The other best way to create distance between you and your thoughts is journaling. Now, this is my personal favorite. Journaling helps you put all the thoughts that have been shining up in your mind on paper, and it helps you to have like a bird's eye view of these thoughts, and you look at them from a different vantage point. So you feel like, okay, this is me and these are my thoughts. It helps you get a better perspective of your emotional state, right? The second way in which you can handle these thought biases and anxiety is by compassionate self-talk. I love this as well. I actually am an avid practitioner of this. Say for example, if you are in the thick of it, things are not going well, everything seems like it's falling apart around you, just think of what a loving parent, friend, or even partner would say to you. What I usually like to do, I like to look in the mirror and tell myself, Cynthia, I know this and this is happening, but I am going to be okay. This is temporary. I'll find a solution for whatever challenge it is that I'm facing at that moment. Compassionate self-talk is kind of like you're parenting yourself. It's great. You should try it out. And last but not least, that third way you can handle these thought biases and anxiety is by reframing. This is truly, truly magical. When you reframe a negative thought into a positive one, it is very powerful. Trust me. Let me give an example. There were a few years ago, I signed up for driving lessons, and I had all kinds of anxious thoughts. I was thinking, oh my God, what if I knock someone? What if I get into an accident? And then my mom told me, but what if you go for these lessons, enjoy them, and have fun? Then I thought to myself, whoa, yes. Now I'm excited that I'm going to gain the convenience of being able to drive myself wherever I want to go at any particular point in time. Like, that's empowering. So instead of feeling anxious, I turned those anxious feelings into feelings of excitement. Another funny story is that I used to fear going on first dates. I used to think that I'm going to act awkward or be all weird. All my quirks will come out. So I used to postpone these dates until I felt ready. Nowadays, when I have a first date planned, instead of having these anxious feelings of, oh my God, it's going to be weird, I'm going to be awkward, I reframe them into excitement. And I think, oh my God, I'm going to go out on a date with a new person and I'm going to get their take on life, their philosophies in life, and everything that they find exciting about life. This is exciting. So truly, it's magical how reframing your anxious thoughts into excitement can make a world of difference. I hope you enjoyed this video because, as always, I enjoy making these videos for you. If you have other ways in which you handle these thought biases and anxiety, please let me know in the comment section below. I'll be very interested. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up as it helps the algorithm on YouTube. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel as that helps me out a lot. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.